So we had season 6, episode 11, I believe. I'm bad with numbers. Not a bad episode, I mean, I knew we were going to have a lot of slow stuff going on because they're building up to some things and we got to meet a bunch of new people and all that. So I'm all right with it. What I'm not, what I'm kind of annoyed with is when they just like, hey, we'll throw in a token walker kill and that'll make, or a fist fight, and that'll cheer people up. Come on. I mean, if walkers were just that passe, they wouldn't have won the the war. I mean, they took over for a reason because they're pretty deadly and dangerous. So, I so many shows do that. I mean, and it just bugs me. It always bugs me. So, anyway, we start off and Sasha and Abraham are doing the slow stroll, and Abraham's got it bad for her. And I think she's got it bad for him. It's just that, she's got to do that thing. Now, when Sasha makes a stink face, she's not a very attractive woman. But when she's just walking around with a pleasant look on her face, she's very capable of hubba hubba. Believe me. So, anyway, she tells him, hey, you're going to be going on patrols with Eugene, which is a major step down because, look, if Eugene offered me a handy in the force, I'd probably take it, of course, but I'd rather have one from Sasha. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway. So somehow they just cut to Abraham in bed with Rosita, and I'm not going to compare the two, but I'm going to tell you, Rosita's freaking hot. So he's like, oh, I really wish you were Sasha. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, but then again, we're guys, so no matter what, we'd be wishing one was the other one. So that's just how it works. So anyway, they go take a shower or something, which, Naked and Afraid shows butts all the time. Don't be afraid to show us some of Rosita's butt. I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, I'm not going to be writing to any sponsors if you give me that. I'm just telling you, a little hint there. Anyway, so we move on, and Jesus is in the hallway. Carl just like lurks up on the dude and levers the rod at the back of his head. Now, I'm not the biggest Jesus fan. I'm not anti-Jesus. Maybe I am just a little bit. I mean, I know that he represents some big things, and I know he's a badass and everything, but I mean, maybe Carl could have just hit him in the back of the head with a gun and then cut his Achilles tendon or something. Carl lost an eye. He's allowed to be a little bitter and unstable. I don't think anyone's going to hold it against him. So anyway, Carl doesn't. He's like, oh, this is cool. And he's like, oh, I'm waiting for your mom and dad. Like, okay. Thanks for letting the cat out of the bag about Rick and Michonne. They were going to do a big unveil on MTV, but you screwed it up for him. Thanks a lot, jerk. So anyway, he's like, you got to come to my town. And then he's like, oh, there's a lot of towns. Your world's going to get a lot bigger. But, how many towns are there? And, where does Alexandria fall into that position? Because I think if they're all like networking towns, Alexandria is more than likely going to be the Las Vegas of those towns because they've got a lot better than everyone else. I mean, they've got ridiculously hot girls that make you necklaces in that town. And you get to choose between like another ridiculously hot girl. I mean, I saw what Hilltop has to offer. Whew, not that great. I mean, sure, in the zombie apocalypse, it's not bad, but it's not Alexandria. So anyway, they get to Hilltop. And this guy comes out and he's all huffing and puffing and he's like, oh, hey, I built this town and I wear a jacket for some ungodly reason because that's very suitable in the zombie apocalypse, because if I had to try and climb something in silk pants, I'd slide right down and get eaten by walkers, which, I mean, apparently they don't. So anyway, Rick tells some Melanie girl to talk to him. And all she does is take crap from the guy. I'm like, why didn't you have Maggie talk to this guy? She'd have kicked his ass. Instead, you send Melanie, and she's like, well, I mean, we like food. Look, you've got a gun. He's got a hand with some skin on it. pistol whip the shit out of the guy and take his stuff. I don't like friendly group. I mean, I'm more Negan at heart, and believe me, so is Rick, because Rick's like, oh, well, I'll just kill that guy. All right, I mean, granted, I don't know if Rick realizes that Negan's been doing this for a while and has built up quite an army. According to the comics, he's built up quite a pretty good system. So I don't know that Rick and his 12 people capable of fighting, at a high level are going to just walk through these guys like they think they are, which I doubt they will. I mean, if they're going to dedicate 2 seasons to this guy, which I hope they don't, but I think they are. So anyway, some guy shows up, he stabs the leader, which, I mean, well, we've got a doctor. I don't care what kind of doctor you are. The guy just lacerated a kidney. You're like, oh, I gave him a bandage. I don't know that that's going to do it. I mean, there's internal organs being damaged there. I would think that whatever leader guy's name was, I forgot his name. The guy who kept calling Maggie Melanie. I would imagine that he's going to die of some kind of septic shock. I don't think that was a very sterile blade just shoved into him, but we'll see. So Rick and all them are gearing up. It didn't look like a whole lot of food there. Oh, this is just a down payment. Oh, there was one thing I did like. They're all, yeah, we're growing cucumbers and stuff. I said it before. In that living environment, you have to go to what is considered a frontier's diet. Heavy carbs, heavy roots. Basically, you're growing potatoes, corn, and carrots. All the things that fill you up because you're going to only get a piece of meat that big. So they're growing tomatoes. Not bad. I mean, we're growing cucumbers. Yeah, cucumbers have zero nutritional value. Good job, Melanie. All right, so it was a good episode. It wasn't bad. Slower than I wanted. I mean, I'm just impatient. I want frickin' I want the war to start. I want to see some bodies flying. I want to know what happened. I hate admitting this. I want to know which one Abraham picks, and I think he'll pick Sasha. And I pray to God Rosita doesn't end up with what's his name, Eugene. Because that's just ridiculous. Because Eugene looks like me, and even I can't pull a Rosita in the zombie apocalypse. It's just wrong. It reminds me of when that ridiculous fat guy from Lost scored that hot rod. Yeah, that's great. A really smelly guy scored that hot chick. I believe that. Really. A smoke monster is easier to believe than that. Anyway, I look forward to next week. Till then, I'll see ya, and if I think of anything, I'll make another video.